Hi everyone, this is Andrew Lengerich with Elevate Physiotherapy. I'm here today as part of the 3 Rings Challenge to bring you some recovery tips and 10-minute tune-ups to keep you recovering from the workouts. This is going to be week 1. So what we're going to do today is going to be all body weight movements, mobility movements. So in the future, we will be using foam rollers and lacrosse balls, and there's going to be a link below on where you can get those. So I would recommend getting a hold of those, ordering them now so that next week when we do week 2, you'll have those to use. So the first thing we're going to do to get some blood flow into the muscles and to start with our mobility is we're going to start with a more active hip flexor stretch. So you're going to be on a kneeling position here. If you have hardwood floors or anything like that, I recommend something for the to put underneath your knee here. And what you're going to do is we're going to lean forward, squeezing our glutes until you feel a stretch in the front of the hip. Now what you're going to do there is you're going to push through the front leg, and you're just going to come up a couple inches. We're going to hold for 5 seconds here and then come back down. Come all the way back out of it, give yourself a break, and we're going to repeat that 10 times. So while you're doing this, you want to make sure you're squeezing your glute. That helps shut off the hip flexors to really give you a nice deep stretch there. Body stays nice and upright. I don't want you leaning forward here. That takes stress off of the hip flexor. And you might feel some burning here in the muscles, so that's a way to get warmed up and work on flexibility at the same time. Now when we're doing these, we want to work on pushing a little further as our flexibility improves. If you're someone who sits a lot, you might feel a lot of tension in the hip flexors. They get tight from sitting in a chair. All right, I think that was 10. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same thing. Again, the setup's super important. Make sure you squeeze your glute. Shift your weight forward until you feel a pull in the front of the leg. If you're not ready for the lift yet, that's okay. You can just hold that position. But if you're ready for it, we'll do the lift. So the reason why recovery is so important is that in order to maximize the benefits of your weightlifting, you want to make sure your body is able to recover so that the next time you go out to do your workout, you get the most benefit out of it. I know it's not always the most pleasant thing to do, but it really will help you, improve all those scores on your squats and deadlifts and everything like that. All right, now you can go ahead and move your pillow or whatever it is out of the way. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on warming up and stretching out the adductors. So you're going to just be in this wide stance here, and then you're just going to come into this deep lunge until you feel a pull in the leg there. Again, hold for 5 seconds, come back up. Now we'll go to the other side. So as you loosen up, you can go a little bit deeper. It should feel a little bit uncomfortable. You should feel a pulling right in through here, but it shouldn't be painful. The adductors are a move that are used pretty heavily in the squat, surprisingly. So something you want to make sure that you take care of. All right, one more to this side and then we'll move on to the next. All right, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna lie down on your back. We're gonna work on the hips here. Lie flat on your back, one foot goes over the top of the other, and then you're gonna let this leg pull across your body, trying to keep your upper back and shoulders on the ground. You might feel this in your lower back, down the outside of the hip, and even into the thigh. We'll go ahead and hold here. And make sure you're paying attention to what we're doing. If one exercise feels like you need more of that, then make sure during the week you're working on this stuff, not just when these videos come out. They're things that need to be worked on regularly throughout the week. Again, you could feel this in a number of places. It's not wrong. It's just where you have the most tightness. So just pay attention to that and be aware of it. As things start to loosen up, you might feel it a little bit differently. All right. Now let's work up into the upper back and shoulder here. So you're going to be on your hands and knees. Sit back onto your heels as far as you can. Arm goes on the back of your head here, and what you're going to do is you're going to rotate up, squeezing your shoulder blade together, opening the chest, and then come back down. This is good to help undo some of the tightness in the middle of your back. If you're somebody who sits at a computer for a long period of time, that thoracic spine gets pretty stiff. You want to move your neck with it. Your thoracic spine and your cervical spine need to move together. So make sure you're not keeping your head down and just moving your shoulder. You're moving your head with you. We'll go ahead and switch to the other side. And again, it's more active. As I'm coming up, I'm squeezing the shoulder blade down and in, like I'm trying to squeeze it to the other side of my body. All right. And then the last one we're going to do is just going to be a full spine movement. So you're going to be on your hands and knees again. And what you're going to do is you're going to round your back and tuck your chin. Hold for a second or two. And then all the way back up. So it's good to move the spine through all ranges of motion. So this is just a nice gentle way to get things moving. Notice that my elbows stay straight the whole time. You'll see a lot of people do this. So you want to just keep your elbows nice and straight. All right, so that'll be it for week one. There's obviously a lot of different mobility things that you can work on. If there's any time that you have any questions or need anything, my contact information is there. So feel free to reach out to me with questions or to book a session on some things that you need to clean up with your weightlifting form or with any of the recovery stuff during the 3 Rings Challenge.